It's the scarlet letter, and I want to apply it to the NFL. The scarlet letter, it's a big A. It's the Pro Bowl alternate. Because now, as J.J. Watt, how long has J.J. Watt been retired? He's kind of doing the back in my day.
Year and a half?
Yes, but he was saying that it's now kind of a participatory award. Hey, you made the Pro Bowl. Well, not really. You get to go play dodgeball. But I think you have to make sure that you have this designation if you're an alternate. They're just looking for people to participate in this. That's all. But it shouldn't count on your resume because it used to. Maybe it still does. But if you're an alternate, there should be, if you have 3 quarterbacks who make the Pro Bowl from the AFC, NFC, or if you just want to do, you're the first team Pro Bowl quarterback, and that counts on your resume. Because once we get to the 6th alternate here, Vince Young, who was it, Tyler Huntley, didn't he make it? Vince Young, twice alternate, made the Pro Bowl. What's on your resume? That helps players get into the Hall of Fame. Yes, Marvin.
And we're forgetting Pro Bowl quarterback Mitch Trubisky.
Of course.
Yep.
David Garrard.
Steve Berline.
Yeah, but that was back when it was still a game that they were playing. But you have to differentiate between somebody who's a Pro Bowl. Now, All-Pro, that's the one that settles arguments. If you say 6-time All-Pro, you're getting into the Hall of Fame. 6-time Pro Bowler with 3 alternate chances to go in, you're not getting into the Hall of Fame. And that's where I think the NFL writers need to differentiate here. What is a Pro Bowl player and what is, I need you to fill the roster? Add the scarlet letter. Pro Bowl alternate. Fritzy says we should put an A on their uniform.
Big shiny A on their helmet or their jersey. Oh, he's just an alternate, whatever. How many people did they ask that said no and they ended up with this guy playing?
Just a big A. Yes, Paul.
So, Dan, when you research these things, when shows like us or research people for networks do research on players, they go to Pro Football Reference. It's the Bible of all of the history of football. So, for example, Russell Wilson made the Pro Bowl 9 different times as a Seahawk. Does he get credit for another Pro Bowl this year?
He shouldn't.
He shouldn't, but I'm looking at his Pro Bowl list, and he'll probably be on it. And that's going to be the designation because when you look at people, when you're researching for the Hall of Fame, this is what you use. For example, Patrick Willis, remember the great linebacker? He was a 7-time Pro Bowler, but he was a 6-time All-Pro.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but it's those designations help your research.
Yes, but I still look at All-Pro. The Pro Bowl, I don't attach much weight or credibility to that, but there are probably people who do. J.J. Watt says, when you get 5 alternates deep, just call it the participation bowl. All right. I'm with him on it. I get it, but this has been around for a little while. Add the scarlet letter, at least on your resume, that you put the A on there, you're an alternate. But it gets silly because after a while, you're like, who wants to play? Hey, who would like to be in the dodgeball? And you can bet on the dodgeball competition, as Dylan pointed out. Are you going to bet on the dodgeball? When we have our gambling podcast tomorrow, are you going to wager?
We're a little low on other stuff to bet on right now, Dan, so I think that might make a appearance on the board.
Okay. Yes, Tom?
That's when you got to make that gambling problem phone call, I think. It's like, what about the tug of war? Should we get in on that?
If you bet on the Pro Bowl dodgeball game, please call this number.
I used to bet on preseason football.
Those are probably on par.
That was pretty sad. It was pretty sad.
I've also done that.
Yeah. All right. 877-3DP Show. Email address dp@danpatrick.com. Twitter handle @DP Show. But I don't know if even that alternate, like how many guys have gotten the Pro Bowl designation, but they weren't the original guy. And did that help anybody get into the Hall of Fame? Like Russell Wilson. Is he a Hall of Famer? If you look at, 9 Pro Bowls and went to 2 Super Bowls and won a Super Bowl. I don't know if he was ever all pro, But
He was second team All-Pro once.
Okay, he'll make the Hall of Fame, I think, with 9 Pro Bowls and 2 Super Bowl appearances and a win. He probably will. But I don't know how many of those Pro Bowl selections he was actually the initial quarterback. The grouping that goes in that they're elected. Yes, Marvin.
So I'm looking at the 2019 Pro Bowl where Mitch Trubisky got in as an alternate. Russell Wilson was also an alternate.
Yeah, see, that shouldn't count. But it's there. It's on his resume, but it shouldn't count. But I don't know if I'd have to ask Peter King. I don't think Pete votes on it anymore, but it certainly did for a long time. Of how much do they factor that in, the Pro Bowl appearances? Yes, Todd.
And as far as the other sports, I can't speak to hockey, but baseball and basketball, I think still to this day, we consider that kind of a big deal, right? If you see someone's resume and they were in 11 All-Star games in the NBA or MLB, but now it's becoming a joke almost for the NFL.
Yeah, but the All-Star game, it's not, the NFL for a long period of time was searching for something that they could have that, hey, we have our All-Star game. Nobody wanted to play in it. They wanted to be picked for it because it went on your resume. Tom Brady, I think, played in 1 Pro Bowl.
His first one.
Yeah, and then he's like, what am I doing? Or the Patriots probably said, what are you doing? And that's why you get Mitch Trubisky or David Garrard. And Drake May's going to be in the Pro Bowl. So he's a Pro Bowl quarterback. Yes, Marv.
And the issue is you can't play exhibition football. Like, you just can't play like, oh, you know what? We're just going to play a pickup game of, tackle football.
Yeah.
So guys don't want to play.
Well, I wouldn't want to play because all it takes is a Sean Taylor hit on you. Like that time, I didn't watch the Pro Bowl a couple of years ago, and I don't know. It might have been Paulie. He goes, turn on ABC or whatever. He goes, and I go, oh, what is on that Pro Bowl? I swear to God, I've seen more violence on Dancing with the Stars than that. They were slow dancing. They caught some, you get somebody, but you didn't tackle them. You could just kind of slow dance a little bit, wrestle them to the ground. I get it, but does the NFL, does the commissioner get it that this is silly? Yeah, Paulie.
The last Pro Bowl game with actual physical action was that 2020 game. And I can't remember. I don't know if it was Luke Kuechly or someone we had on the show the next day. They said they all were chatting in the locker room and they said, hey, let's just go through the motions. Because as the game went on, it clearly was obvious that the teams were in agreement on this.
I think it was George Kittle that we had on. And he said that, yeah, they kind of conspired. They got together and like, hey, let's not hurt anybody. And I get it. You've already gone through a long season if you played in the playoffs. And now, hey, can't wait to go out there and hit somebody. Yes, Marv.
Yeah, you want to just be named to the Pro Bowl like you've been saying before. I just want to be a Pro Bowler. I don't want to play in the actual game. No, thank you.
Okay.